Mnangagwa is pressured to fire Minister Felix Mhona for neglect, incompetence, and corruption. We have seen many pictures that were making rounds on the roads and everything that that is dilapidated in Zimbabwe in terms of infrastructure. And yet Felix Mhona is not doing anything. He's fast asleep or busy running around making money in the mines and stuff, the normal business that we know ZANU-PF ministers engaging in. And this is really quite very disturbing. In the past days, people were talking about the Victoria Falls Road, which ended up being discussed in Parliament, and with many other, ZANU-PF people also agreeing that indeed the Victoria Falls Road is becoming a nuisance and an embarrassment to the country, and that is exactly true. But I don't know why it has to become a veiled fire at first before they can spring into action. The same thing that we saw in Bedbridge, now that they now want to talk about revamping the Bedbridge Hospital after that accident. Why do you have to wait for a crisis to solve things? Yet a government is supposed to be there to just work and be ahead of even the expectations of the people. But that's not what we are seeing with this rogue regime, a regime that is just hell-bent on stealing, killing, destruction, and that's all. There is nothing else that they do. They are nothing. They are, they want to call themselves all the big names, professors, doctors, so and so and so and so. But when you look at the stupidity that they are, you'd ask yourself and say, where is that doctorate hiding in this thick skull that doesn't have brains at all? Because these people are failing to just have common sense, common sense of just saying, guys, we know we can steal as much as we want, but at least let's put a certain percentage towards the country so that at least we can have some little cover up things that we can also talk about. That look at this, we have done this, we have done this. Just imagine, just wait until that Victoria Falls Road is constructed. You will hear the noises that they make praising Mnangagwa, and yet that road has been like that for years, and people were talking about it and they were ignoring it. And we were even laughing that Varakash, who were talking about the road, the Victoria Falls Road, we're blaming Felix Mhona, the minister. Right? That's what they do. But wait until the road is fixed and here who is going to be praised is going to be Mnangagwa, who is praised. That's how they are. Is it the bunnyheads? People who just ululate, people of no principles, like what Comrade Geza said, who don't know what they are doing. They don't have any direction. They don't even think. So there is a demand, really, a demand of the immediate resignation of Felix Mhona, and he is a liability to our fiscus. Indeed, this is very, very true. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen like that, because with Mnangagwa, all of those people are not there as professionals or as people who know what they are doing. They are his relatives. He's simply gathering his relatives together and allowing his relatives to just do what they want. And that's why you will find that it won't happen. You can never have him fire any minister, and that's Mnangagwa for you. But it's quite unfortunate because the country is suffering at the end of the day. But who cares? They don't care about it. But even if they don't care about it, but the pressure right now that is rising against them is because of that arrogance, that incompetence, and the corruption that they continue to do and ignore the calls from the people of Zimbabwe that this thing must be put to an end. So this is what is now turning around to devour them. So if they thought that nothing was going to come, something is definitely coming this time around. This is our time, family. This is a time for Zimbabwe. This is a time for champions of change to stand up to fight for Zimbabwe, defend Zimbabwe with all that we have until we deliver the nation out of the doldrums of poverty and suffering. Mnangagwa does not care to see anything develop in Zimbabwe, whether it can be water systems, whether it can be roads, it can be electricity, the hospitals, whatever, you name it. Mnangagwa does not have appetite at all to even think about it. What kind of a president does not also check on the appraisal of his ministers to check the progress their ministers have done? At what stage did you find this ministry in, and what other things have you brought in? What have you changed? What have you improved? He doesn't even have time for that, Mnangagwa. He doesn't have it. He's always busy somewhere, sitting down, scheming and planning on how to steal more, where we can continue to milk more. And this is all they do. And this is who they are. Unfortunately, This is not raising the country. This is actually destroying Zimbabwe like nobody's business. And that's why we, as the people of Zimbabwe, are praying that they must bite the dust. We are standing and declaring the word of God that freedom must come to Zimbabwe, that Zimbabwe must be left to breathe. We can't breathe in Zimbabwe. We can't breathe. We have thieves, we have murderers, we have robbers, we have vagabonds who are running our country, and we do need to do something about it. And definitely our time is now. This is the season of freedom. This is the time of the freedom of the people. Let's continue to declare the word, pray and believe God. And we also join in the Gaza Revolution. Viva Gaza Revolution until victory is certain. Our God is watching and our God is in it, and victory is ours.